Good morning, Afghanistan. What a pickle we are in over there, and looks like we're not getting out anytime soon. American in distress. American and horse in distress. Start out with this. If Iran wants war. Look how close they put their country to our military bases. Oh my goodness. American in distress. Hey, today I'm going to do a quick video. It's me in my mirror, and I gotta put these reading glasses on here to get a better perspective. Now, I'm going to go into a couple things here. Did anybody know that Americans have been deployed to Israel? Again. This, I don't know if anybody can read this. Just Google it. That's all I did. And you get all kinds of stories. American troops going to Israel. Some 3,500. They're not giving direct, precise numbers on that. But what they're doing is they're just protecting the American flank. That's what they're doing. Or the Israeli flank. And that's that would be the southwestern Eilat, that area over there, the approach from the Sinai. So the troops are probably over there, and they're protecting Israel's flank. This has happened before. Israel attacked Lebanon and Syria, and they bombed the reactors up in Iraq while the Americans were in the flank. I was there. Okay, but this is a video that I've been trying to make here. I'll try to make it as fast as possible. This is sort of biblical, although I'm not a teacher, I'm a storyteller, and this is just a story. So I hope anybody isn't turned off by me mentioning a few things, because this goes really deep, but it's a great story. It goes deep. So I'm going to start right now, and of course I've read the Bible a few times, so I kind of know a little bit about it. I don't look at religion the way some people do because I read the Bible. I totally am against religion, organized religions, and especially these guys that are supporting Israel. Without a doubt, the abomination of desolation is in the holy place, and that's Israel. Did I say abomination? Ah, damn it. Okay, anyway, this is out of the book of Luke. Luke was not a disciple. Luke was a scientist, a physician, educated man of his time. He could read and write in a time when most people were illiterate. That was back 2,000 years ago when the Christ, the God incarnate, walked the earth, teaching and prophesizing. And Luke must have been fascinated. This was a man that probably left his chosen profession to follow this man and record. Maybe because he could record. Maybe he was good friends, families, tribes. I don't know. You know, I haven't got into it that deep. This is just sort of at the surface. Okay. One of the events that he was recording was the Sermon on the Mount of Olives. And afterwards, the disciples, they were so amazed at what they had heard the Christ prophesied on the Mount. They had wanted to go in more in depth about what he had said, and they gathered around him after the sermon later on in the evening. And this is what Luke says the Christ says about these days that the Christ had predicted that would come upon the earth, and all because of these fallen angels, watchers. And well, the Christ says there's going to be earthquakes in diverse places, and people say that, well, you know, there's been earthquakes forever. That's quite true, but I think he was referring to the fact that we are now able to have an earthquake in freaking some remote outpost in Siberia, and I can know it 2 seconds after it happens, or while it's happening sometimes, because modern technology of communication. There's earthquakes everywhere, and maybe they've been going on for everywhere. Maybe they haven't picked up, you know. Maybe it's been going on like this forever, but I know I can go into a site right now and get every single earthquake that's happened in the last 7 days, and the time and everything. So I think it's more, he was saying this is going to be, he couldn't describe communications and advancement in technology, so he's just going to say earthquakes. Man, you can hear about these things. Like over there, the earthquake happened every now and then, because I was in the Sinai. You did get them from time to time. But you'd never hear about them, maybe for years. Even if they destroyed a whole city, you may never ever hear about it. It's technology. He says the gospel will be preached all throughout the world. Well, he didn't say anything about anybody's going to agree with it or anybody's going to listen to it, you know. So that's happening. And these are these prophecies that I'm going through that he predicted was going to happen, but I'm getting to a major one that I'm going to come to here. And wars and rumors of wars, of course, that's been going on forever, but it goes back to technology. I mean, we wouldn't know about a war in the Sudan or the Ivory Coast, which we still know is still hidden, or Yemen, unless we had communications, modern communications. And he says it will be like the days of Noah. That's what intrigued me the most of all this stuff. It'd be like the days of Noah. So I wanted to see what was happening back in the days of Noah. And live. We're live. And so I'm going to go into the days of Noah real quick. What was happening in the days of Noah? Well, everything was corrupted. The birds, the fish, mankind. Corrupted. And it's kind of funny because after this Fukushima stuff, I sort of was doing a lot of radiation studies, studying radiation poisoning and things about what would happen and what's been happening through history. That brought me to, of course, the atomic bomb blast and all the stuff they've been doing back from the 40s and 50s that I did videos on. Probably nobody watched. Anyway, but I read a scientific report that said the radiation is the only really, it's not really a chemical, it's a chemical reaction, but it is the only thing that can really corrupt cells, human cells, animal cells, everything. Everything it touches, it corrupts the cells, trees, leaves, everything. Grass. And not only does it corrupt the cells of the individual, it can corrupt the cell, and the cells mutate and pass on this corruption to the offsprings. It's the only, there's no other chemical that can do that. Only radiation poisoning. And then he said people would be married and taken in marriage and all that. Well, that just means they're having sex. They're having sex all over the place. Okay. And he says that in the days of Noah, people were eating and drinking and just partying, and like no one was listening to the warning signs and gluttony. And in 50 states right now, we have a diabetes outbreak. It's the diabetes is being reported in record rates all over the 50 states of America because people are fat and they're eating bullshit food. What do they expect? And they get no exercise. And I'm going to bring in another character now. I'm holding off at this. Days of Noah, the last days, the perplexities of the nations. That's what Luke says himself. Perplexities of the nations. Look what's happening now. But bring in another character, Enoch. Enoch walked with God. The book of Enoch was suppressed by the Catholic Church, who also brought us into the pagan worship on Sundays. And if you didn't want to worship on Sundays, they simply killed you. Constantine did with the blessings of the Catholic Church back in the 300s. Okay, so we lost the Sabbath and we gained Sunday worship, which is Sun, Ra, God of Ra, Sun worship. It says that, and look it up in the encyclopedia. That's exactly what it says. Sun worship day, Sunday. And of course, the book was the Catholic Church tried to destroy the book of Enoch, and it was parts of it in 1820 was founded and interpreted, and then the final whole book was uncovered in 1948 with the Dead Sea Scrolls. Enoch was seventh from Adam. God promised Enoch that he would not destroy the earth until Enoch's grandson had passed, and that's what happened. Okay, so there was a man that had to pass before all this could start. That was Enoch's grandson. Now we have Ariel Sharon. Now Ariel Sharon, people think he is an evil person, right? And he changed in the end. Some changes came over. Ariel Sharon went into a coma in January 4th, 2006. Now, everybody knows biblically, the seventh year is always a Sabbath, the time of rest. Now, it is rumored that Ariel Sharon is a descendant of the tribe of David. And, of course, we had this rabbi, Yakazinashek, whatever his name is, who died when he was 108 in 2005, and he predicted Ariel Sharon would die before this false Messiah. He said the Messiah would come and all this other stuff, but we all know that the false Messiah comes first. So I think that Ariel Sharon, his 6 years of suffering in a coma, in a god-awful, this guy's 80-something, maybe 90, he's in this god-awful state, this man. He was, I'll get to do an Ariel Sharon video later, sort of go into his past and what I think is happening. But on January 4th, 2006, Ariel Sharon slipped into a coma, and he's been in a coma ever since. And on January 4th, 2013 is, by our calendar, 7 years. 6 years, the end of 6 years, and the beginning of 7th years. The 7th year is always a Sabbath. Or if you go by the Hebrew calendar, it's like now. Very soon would be his 7th year would start if you went by the Hebrew calendar, which has 360 days in a year. But they add days every few years, and I haven't been keeping up with that. So if they may have to add years, I don't know. I mean, days, rather. I don't know. But by our calendar, January 4th, 2013, will start his time of Sabbath, I believe. And I believe he's going to be released from this earth. Now, this rabbi predicted that as soon as ariel sharon dies, all this stuff's going to happen, the Messiah is going to return. But we also know that, like I said, the false Messiah comes first, and he will arrive in Israel. That's what this guy, this Rabbi Yekashikanaf, let me hang on a minute. I got him right here. Address. This guy, 108-year-old rabbi, predicts all this stuff. You can just go on YouTube. You can go on any, on the Google it. There's all kinds of stories. But he names the Messiah, all this stuff. Now this was a Kabbalah dude, so you got to remember they believe in magic and all these demons and shit that you can summons up to help you out. So you got to take this with a, you got to look at this from all perspectives. What this guy's saying and his followers. I'm not sure who they are or what they are, but I think it's going to usher in the false Messiah. And we're waiting for this time. And look, the veil is becoming thinner, man. Look what's happening in the Middle East right now. Look what's happening all over the world. And that's why I had this up here. This Turkey. I always said, watch out for Turkey. They're directly north of Israel. Directly north. Everybody says Russia. Russia. It's Turkey. Turkey's and these Leviathan gas fields. You got to read about these things. This is a whole war brewing over here. And this is I think this is the underlining. This is the underlining reason for all this, because they're jockeying to get these oil fields and gas fields, and Israel wants it all for themselves. They don't want to share any of it, although they do have a sort of agreement with Cyprus, because it's off their shores, really. But see, Turkey basically controls Cyprus. Anyway, let me go one more page. One more thing I want to go on here. American distress. Enoch, Iran wants war. Americans deployed. Did I put this on here? Americans are deployed back to Israel. Protecting the flank. Remember that. Oh, that's it. Duck out.